trying to look at this Omega draft, and like the comparison from game 1 to game 2 with their lanes is like atrocious. Like Void's not a strong laner, Alchemist isn't either. You're also against a Timbersaw, who if you lane it versus the Elk is going to have a great time, and Wraith King with a Grimstroke is an incredibly powerful lane. Like very greedy from Omega. Very, very greedy.
Very interesting is what I would say about all of this. I mean, I don't want to go on the Veno train again, but it's okay, right? It's going to be good against the Faceless Void, but then once you get to a certain point, the BKB start to come out, you're pretty useless. You're not good against the Alchemist, so I don't think that's the right way to go. Tiny's good, but you need to absolutely guarantee that you're 100-0 bursting down both of these heroes, the Faceless Void and the Alch. And, you know, it's going to require a whole lot more cohesion than Lilgun showed in game number 1.
Yeah, well, we have seen this team play with some cohesion before, especially with their map versus SMG. That was a solid performance for them. But like you said, it's going to have to be a little bit better in this second game versus Omega to try and even up the series here. But, well, you're speaking about the Green Venom Man-to-Man. We'll get banned out. So we're not going to have at least...
I don't think it was a main concern. I mean, it is still open for Lilgun with what their last hero is going to be, because Sanctity plenty of times has played the Timbersaw as well from the mid lane. So it could be Marvel playing it could be Sanctity playing it. They've still got that little bit of flexibility going in from these last few bans, so we'll see what they opt to go for. But for mine, it needs to be something super active. You know Grimstroke can be, you know Tiny can be, you know Timbersaw can be. So just go all in onto that and punish this greedy ass draft that Omega has gone for.
What are we feeling right now? Because do you think it's more than likely that it's a Hishki, Tiny, and the Timber? Like, do you want to try and put the Timber in whatever lane the Alchemist is in?
Yes. That's. I think it's most likely going to be an Alchemist mid. Okay. They could still throw a bit of a spanner in the works and put it as an off lane, and it's okay against the Wraith King, but I don't feel super strong about it. I mean, is an Underlord too slow? I feel like it might be. It's good for Lilgun. Just to give them like 3 hard heroes to get through, basically.
How are you going to kill them? Yeah. It does kind of feel like, though, they need a saving person for Chrono. Like, if you put all your eggs in this Chronosphere where Ornament Kisses and Sharpshooter, you've kind of already got the Timber that can, I guess, catch the Snapfire, maybe Tiny Blink as well, but you don't really have like a defensive support to protect in the Chrono. So I wonder if they could think about going down that route. I'm trying to think of what's...
But what do they pick then, you know, into it? AA, so is this a mid-Tiny?
So, yeah, mid-Tiny, an AA Wraith King lane. I mean, those 2 carries definitely rely on getting a lot of their sustain back, like Void with the Time Walk, Alchemist, of course, Chemical Rage. It's...
Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
I was just thinking something that's going to be a little bit more active. I don't know.
Yeah, because who do you play with? Like, you now really relying on Sanctity having a good game. Like, he has to get a blink at a good timing.
I mean, he's going to be playing with Grimstroke the entire time. I assume that AA is just going to stick, like, in Wraith King's pocket the entire time, make sure he doesn't get counter-ganked, throw those Ice Blasts from the other side of the map, just continuously let him farm, get some stacks up, and then Timbersaw is just going to be off on his own doing his thing, trying to shove out waves. So, and that's what you can do, right? You're up against this weak early game that Omega Esports have. So there is the potential for it, but I mean, it could be another game where depends what they choose to go for this last hero. If it's Sam H's.
You may now select your heroes.
Off lane Hoodwink, mid Hoodwink, 5 Hoodwink, mid Snapfire into the Tiny. It's not terrible. I mean, the very low armor to start out is the Tiny for sure, so you're able to bully him out pretty easily.
Well, Mac has got an incredible core Snapfire. I will add that. Like, I've always been impressed when Mac plays the Snapfire as a 2. This is not how I was expecting it to go. What do you think Omega were thinking for with going for this last pick Mirana? Like, what does it kind of outround their draft with?
Well, you know that the Tiny is going to be roaming around, right? So
10
I think you just need it
remaining.
as a response to some of these chain ganks that are going to be coming through.
5
I
seconds
feel like
remaining.
Tino, there's very little damage early on to combo together with a Faceless Void, right? So I feel like every single time that Faceless Void ulti is off cooldown, Chrono just needs to be used, and you need to combo it together with a power Sacred Arrow just to make sure that you're getting full use out of it. You're trying to stall out the game as much as you can. Because we mentioned before, Lilgun have nothing in the form of save. So if you can catch out the Tiny, hell, even a support, it's going to be worthwhile to use it just to be able to get you that little bit further, that extra 300 gold towards your next item.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like, though, they don't really have the greatest arrow setups. Like you said, you're going to have to really rely on Chrono, just using it whenever it's available. But I wonder how Sam H is going to itemize this game. Like, can we even, like, does it feel like... I actually don't feel like we're going to see the Alchemist go ag, because I feel like who's Mac going to chuck in these fights? Like, do you actually really want to put Void in the middle? Like, he might just get stunned up once pre-BKB and just burst it down from Sanctity. Like, I feel like you might not have as much potential from the Aghanims on Mac. So could we see the Alchemist go for a little bit more of like an offlane utility build?
I guess, you know, you can go the Soul Crest into something like, I don't know, just an early BKB, just survive through a lot of the pressure that they've got right now on Lilgun. But I don't know, it's so hard to say. You know, this draft seems a little, well, to say a little unorthodox would be an
Prepare for
understatement.
battle.
Hard to call. I'm just going to go with... I think they're a little greedy on Omega, so I'm going to go with Lilgun. Again, the faith is still there, boys.
We haven't given up on them. It's just, can they execute that draft? Like, that is the big question here. Do you think they're able to do it? Or are we just kind of banking off Omega's draft being bit too greedy?
That's what I'm banking on. Sanctity walks on forward. They'll see that he's still carrying an Observer Ward. He just wanted to put the too easy for Arteezy in the river.
Stop jungling, let's push.
Makes him hear him as well.
Such a good spray. What's Mac got?
30 seconds to
He's
battle.
got the secret one.
Still gonna need to hear the voice packs and everything from these two teams.
Yeah. Very true. When are they coming out, boys? Come on. They are deforestation at its finest.
Max just pump faking with his scatter blast next to the old puppy fight me spray.
Ah, see, Hishki's not going to make the mistake I do so often. Will he right-click fastly? He won't. Okay. Does MH have Greevils? No. Okay, so regardless, Omega, they will be able to pick up 3 bounty runes to start. We aren't going to see the Alchemist get extra gold out of it, but nonetheless, going to be happy with 3 bounties.
You need the acid spray if you're playing this offlane. I think that is insanely greedy if you go the Greevil's Greed as an offlane Alchemist. But, you know, we were talking before about, you know, I do like to make sure that doesn't happen with the Faceless Void coming through. I'll be honest, like, I play Southeast Asian server on Australian ping, so I'm normally at like 100, 120. If they do make that rotation through, I lose that right-click battle every single time.
You're out of the Oz pubs. Too bad for you.
Yes.
I just, there's just some animals there you need to just avoid.
They
you know?
just are. Oh boy. Don't I miss the Oz queue?
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's born the TI champion, you know?
That
Carry
is true. That is true. You know what I mean? I wonder how much he actually did play on Oz in compared to Southeast Asia.
He plays a lot on Oz unranked, though. Not ranked.
There's a bit of a difference. You don't get as many of those animals, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
With this game underway, we do see... What do you think the lane we should be watching out for here between these 3 teams? Because here we would bring up that it seems like Omega's draft is a little bit more greedy and not as lane centric as what it was in game 1. So is there a lane we should be watching out for?
I'm honestly looking out for mid a little bit. Like, Mac needs to go a few more points in the Scatter Blast and the Fire Snap Cookie to be able to secure the last hits, most importantly the range creep. For mine, I think level 4 he really needs a value point in the Wall Shredder, just because you're going to be able to dish out so much burst with the 0 armor that Tiny has before he reaches that level 6. And with that, being able to secure a lot of those creeps, he's been able to finish up the bottle pretty damn early.
Bot lane, Sam H. He's just got first blood, but you see the Wraith King still lose his life, and Shanks actually, he's level 3 already on the Mirana.
Nearly level 4 with that second kill.
Yeah, well, this wave actually should give him 4. That is crazy. Shanks is loving life. He had a good time last game, and I want to see it once again.
Yeah, for sure. Water Root, claimed by Mac. Oh, he's not going to do the cheeky play, is he? Steal away the bounty rune? Not quite yet. Maybe wanting to shove the wave underneath the tower first. Gets very greedy here. You've still got the avalanche, and that's a lot of right clicks from the tower. Very
cute play from him. Yeah, you just lucky that Mac had the cookie available there. Otherwise, could have been a nice solo kill from Sanctity.
And the water rune.
To see
full combo available again. Needs to wait for 30 more mana. By the time Mac gets back, he'll be more healed up though with this bounty rune.
Moment. Yeah, it does still look like the lane's faring relatively well. Timber's actually, he's going to be going into an Orb Corrosion in this lane, so really looking against the Faceless Void. It's pretty nice, just that extra little bit of chip damage, and you do kind of rely on a lot more of your right clicks versus someone like the Faceless Void who can time work off some of the bursts. So the Orb Corrosion can be a bit annoying for the Faceless Void to play into.
Yeah, a lot of that sustained potential Sanctity. He's going to be able to use the water rune, but not enough to survive. He actually tried for a really nice play there where he used the Quelling Blade to cut the tree that the Hoodwink had created through the use of that Acorn shot, but still the damage was just way too much.
You're a tree hugger.
He's already back up top as well from CML. He'll be involved in a secondary kill in the span of about 30 seconds here for Omega, and we speak about the lanes maybe not going as well, but they've got 4 kills and also the net worth lead. Very surprising.
Yeah, for sure. They're chasing in onto Tino a little bit here. There's a lot of damage being pumped in onto him. He's got the 10-1 charges. That Timber Chain not connecting though. Oh,
that's a solo on Sanctity.
Right for you.
Yeah. Another rotation through, using that full combo again, this time around with the Mortimer's Kisses that he was able to pick up earlier on. Might even going on to Hishki. Would have if that connected.
Again, we see another trade. Shanks will get the kill on Ace. They do get the kill on Sam H though, so at least 1, 2, 3 this time will be getting involved in a nice trade for himself. But Shanks is level 5.
Yeah, not too often that you see a position for Mirana this farm super early on.
And it's going to mean that he will get a very fast Spirit Vessel if he opts to do so. It's already earned completed.
Earn and a smoke and a clarity and a sentry ward. And he's still got 100 gold to spare. They're just looking around this mid lane again.
Oh no. I mean, Mac...
Might be too much for Mac this time though.
It's almost... Oh yes, they'll still get the kill. But the levels from Shanks, with the help of CML, they find a trade. Shanks is level 6. And now Hishi's getting chased down as well. CML's got some more rounds of the abilities up and ready to rock and roll as Hishki is going to lose his life. It just... I'm still trying to think back. Like, we're both looking at this, like, Omega's lanes are really not as strong. And somehow, whether it's just the outplay, whether it's the supports, just rotations and what they're doing in the lanes, but somehow they're having a stronger lane than Lilgun, and honestly was really not expecting it.
I mean, the supports are just popping off. The rotations coming through from Lilgun supports are either non-existent or they're way too late, and look at what it's led to in the mid lane. It is a 2-level advantage that Mac has over Sanctity at this point.
Yeah, and like... because the Wraith King Ancient Apparition lane, I I feel like he's really strong. Like, you have a way to set up for cold feet. You, like, and it's an Alchemist lane. Like, Alchemist isn't going to do anything. You can pressure him very heavily. But, you know, they traded some of those kills. Yeah, he has, but I feel like this should have been still a worse lane than expecting. I mean, he's going to go top and he'll at least clear the wave. I don't know if he can really lane versus Marvel, though, especially with the Timber's damage.
Yeah, but the Hoodwink's coming. A little low on mana, though. Just be a bit careful about standing in that acid spray.
Sam H. Got Shanks coming over through top. But Lilgun themselves have poured out their own kind of duplicate of the double support rotation up here.
He's in very deep. Just be careful about getting caught out. Though he's
nice
not yet level 6. Oh, he gets it.
Can he get the ultimate off? He will. And now Max gonna TP in with the Mortimer Kisses. This is another disaster here for Lilgun. And now both the supports are level 6. Like, now you have a sharpshooter already. And that just might be something that catches Marvel off guard. Like, not expecting the sharpshooter to be picked up so early with the break might cost him a couple times.
Have to be very careful here, Sanctity. You're in between 3 different heroes. Do you have the damage to burst down this Mirana? He's gonna try. Sharpshooter.
Oh, nice use of the stroke. Okay. At least here she will get that. That's 380 gold. Would have been great for Sanctity to pick up, because he is actually rushing the Blink Dagger this game. But 3 deaths on your tiny bottom net worth out of all the cores. It's going to be a bit of a late blink timing here.
That's an understatement. Strange creep coming into the tower range. Yeah, just not too much is going right for Lilgun in this game. Wraith King, he is reasonably happily farming away. He's going into an armlet, realizing that, look, we need to be able to respond to this aggressiveness somehow. Well, actually get another kill there. So that's the 3rd death now onto Sam H. He's still been involved in 6 kills, though. So I think they can just park Marvel up on this top side now. He should be able to secure this on his own. I don't think Ace or Hishki need to be here. They need to be connecting through with Sanctity a lot more. You know, you've now got just the 1 point in the tree throw, but Avalanche maxed out, toss 3 points. You can kill basically anyone this game.
1, 2, 3. With these 1 charges stacking up. Drop the chrono. Sharpshooter as well. They deal with the first life. The rotations need to come through, and they need to come through now for 1, 2, 3. They're going to turn. Cold Feet gets a proc along with the Wraith Fire Blast on Tino. The lockdown's there, but the damage is not, as the Faceless Void gets back to safety. 1, 2, 3 still playing with food at the moment, but he's going to get brought down. Lilgun, they bring all the boys for this fight, but they haven't been able to find any kills yet. Finally, they'll get one on Shanks' Mirana. But still, 2 will fall. They're trying to chase deep under the tower. Sam H last swing of the axes will find a 3rd. But can they get Mac? They should be able to. Sanctity Marvel. It's a lot of damage split between the 2. Marvel is out of some mana, though. At least has enough to use the shock room.
I think he needs to stop chasing. He doesn't have any mana. There's no way of chasing out onto that. He had the Soul Ring available, but this feels a lot more like a game of Sea Dota, right? 21 kills, 10 minutes in, and just non-stop action across the map. And even with all of that, even with all these deaths that Sam H is racking up, he's still getting a good amount of farm with that Ring of Health picked up. Is that a full... Wow, it is. The Hood of Defiance picked up so he can withstand these ganks coming through from the Timbersaw, AA, Grimstroke, Tiny, and then he's just going straight in onto that Aghanim Scepter. So he is going to pick it up.
I'm intrigued to see. I guess it's... Do we 100% feel like it's going to be the Snapfire? Or do you think there is still maybe some capability we get the Boomerang?
Honestly, I would be damn close to nearly giving it to the Mirana. The amount of damage that Shanks is doing this early on is insane, and just being able to have that double serving of Starstorm can be quite nuts in the middle of a team fight, particularly if you're able to get a multi-man chrono off.
Marvel? He's got his cloak in his backpack here. He's got to be very cautious because Dire, they're moving on over, and well, he's just going to need the arrow. Cloak's still in the backpack. I don't think it would have mattered anyway with how much lockdown they had, especially with the arrow set up from Shanks, but I mean, that is your second death here for Marvel, who is looking to put a lot of aggression on a tower that you don't really often care about this early on.
Every little bit counts, though. Not going to be able to get in onto Tino. He's going to time walk away. Sanctity's still in this mid lane, worried about trying to take out this mid tower, but you just cannot do that on your own. They're not playing together with their supports. That's the big difference here between Lilgun and Omega, is that these three feel like they're joined at the hip. In the Hoodwink, the Snapfire, and the Mirana.
I mean, you take a look at the itemization as well that's coming through from the Wraith King. He's gone for the item build that is kind of telegraphing that 123 wants to be playing very, very active this game with the armlet instead of kind of that Radiance farming orientated. Is this mainly just because you see the Omega lineup and you see how greedy it is?
There's that, but also just how the early game has gone. You know, you need something that's going to be able to bring you back into the game. People are dying way too often. Sanctity, right now, his main goal is just finishing up that Blink Dagger. He's only about 100 or so gold away, standing in front of the small camp. He's going to pick it up. I mean, for mine, like, Hishki is joining Marvel here on this bottom side. They are rotating a few through to gank him, so he should get anyway.
Sharpshooter?
Maybe not.
It's the break. They haven't killed Marvel just yet, and it's a great soulbind as well. How is the Timber alive? That is a lot of reactions forced here from Omega.
He didn't have the cloak backpack that time.
that was the X factor there for Marvel.
Mm-hmm. More importantly, Blink Dagger online. Smoke is in the backpack of Hishki, so he's going to need to move that one through, which he does. Ace comes in and joins him. This is the rotation that we're wanting to see if you're a fan of Lilgun. Who will they be able to catch out? You've got Sam H, you've got Faceless Void, both farming up here. Be able to see the acid spray.
Sanctity. He's blinked on cooldown because
Too
of
slow.
Oh,
the acid
no.
spray. Did he walk into it?
Yeah, he did. Oh no.
Oh, they're even connecting through with these. Oh no. Oh
and
no.
Oh no.
No.
Sharpshooter used as well. Everything just not going right for Lilgun. The backstab ace is Ancient Apparition. Oh no. That is just... you just... Silver linings. Wraith King's farm and top. Marvel's still alive at the moment. But you might lose your tier 1 tower mid.
That should have been a death though, on the Faceless Void, let's be real. And in return, now it's 3 kills against your team. Just these individual plays. Sanctity, very good player, but you gotta call it out. Stuffed that one up.
And I mean, Shanks is now just about to be 150 away from the Spirit Vessel. Pass back, Sanctity. It's not going to stuff up this initiation with the Ice Blast passing on through. Won't be required for the Alchemist to get that one. Finally, they're able to get a kill into the tier 1 tower. So it looks like now 1, 2, 3 ready to start getting involved. Sanctity's going to go for another. Nice illusion from Mac. He's still taking a lot of damage though. The Strength Hero versus someone like the Timbersaw is just going to get ripped apart from all the pure damage and the percent that Timber's able to output right now. He's got to be careful how deep he dives though, especially with the Sharpshooter break. He's unable to lock on top of the Mac target, and neither was CML.
Nice dodges there coming out from Mac, able to miss the Chakram, miss one of the Timber Chains. That would have been enough to take him down, but not going to be the case this time around. Moonlight Shadow's just expired now, so Tina uses his Time Walk into the lane. Won't be able to dodge out this Wraithfire Blast, but the rest of the damage should not be on.
Oh, too late from Hishki. And now meanwhile mid, it's going to cost him so many kills. We're still watching Tina top, but they actually can't catch him. So then we're back to mid. As Marvel is going to try and get away, but a Cookie Stun will cancel. Sharpshooter bang on point. Max dominating streak. That is just another kind of a misplay there. The Embrace was not used on point there to chain lock down the Faceless Void, and it forces your team to be disconnected, and you end up losing 3 across the map. And it's just the big issue is that it's just more space for the greedy lineup that Omega have. Like, Alchemist is 700 gold away from his Agonins.
Yeah, it's It's not looking ideal. You mentioned it there, like the Phantom's Embrace. I was thinking, well, maybe they could have possibly had the AA Blast coming up. Couldn't have asked for a better rune, by the way. Just picking up the haste to be able to get away from that gank attempt. Yeah, it just feels like these little decisions, these team fights that probably should be going a bit more in Lilgun's favor, whether it's due to luck, whether it's due to some individual skill, just aren't coming off for them.
Honestly, the next exciting thing I'm looking out for is if the Alchemist gives the Aegis to. I want to see what the choice is going to be. So waiting for it. There we go. Got to come out, instantly queues up the next Aghanims as well. So
Radiant's bottom tower is
I
under
want to see it
attack.
given to Shanks. He deserves it.
he's 8-2
It's
and
not going to
9.
happen, but
He's one level behind Tino.
Radiant's
All right,
bottom tower
come on,
is
brothers.
under attack.
Who wants it? Someone's got to get it before the fight starts. Who's he going to give it to? He's going to run into the corner to try and give it to someone. It looks like Void's got it.
Radiant's bottom
Okay.
tower is under attack.
I mean, it's nice to be able to.
Soulbind,
Disrupt the Timbersaw a
Ice
little bit.
Blast, push on through. They're going to try and burst through the Faceless Void with the toss back as well. A nice start to the fight, but they're still going to end up losing way too many heroes here from Lilgun. Reincarnation forced out.
nice
1, 2, 3
blink.
is actually going to blink on full, but he's got no backup in the team right now. And even though it's
Sanctity.
Mac and Josh Shanks, Sanctity finally going to be able to swing on over to try and protect 1, 2, 3. He'll toss up Mac, but another great use of the bushwhack from CML. He's making this
Radiant's
hoodwink
courier has been
hero
killed.
look incredibly strong right now, being a part of 18 kills. He's got the sharpshooter back up if he wants to charge that bad boy up, and Sanctity is standing still for it. On point. Oh, he's not actually. Okay, off the mark, and now Mac, he's going to be careful. Runs into the Ice Blast. Sanctity doesn't have
Cost
the
him 1
combo
second.
just yet after the blink, and it might cost him here. Ava back up. Mac's got some TPs coming through. But the combination is going to be enough to tick him out there. He also gets rid of the tree where the bushwhack would have been.
This is much more of the individual skill that we were talking about, right? They've got the, well, actually, sorry, they don't have the Chronosphere available. They were thinking maybe following it up with that concoction into the stun coming through from the Time Walk, but Lilgun, they're able to claw their way back a little bit here. 3k net worth lead with an Alchemist draft isn't insurmountable.
Bounty!
Okay.
You have to remember as well that that net worth of the Faceless Void, 4,200 of that is
Sam
from the
H.
Aghanim set.
Alright. That is the Q plays they have to burst these heroes down. Like, Sanctity's damage is through the roof. You pair that up with an Ice Blast. You are able to get a lot of these key pickoffs, but that's something we haven't seen so far this game. They've made a couple of missteps, and
Radiant's
you're
bottom
getting,
tower
I
is
just,
under attack.
what I would say is kind of just pulled across the map left, right, and center where they couldn't be the ones on the aggressive foot. But now they're kind of looking to
Dire are
start
scanning.
to put a lot more pressure onto the map and limit what
Dire's
Omega
top
can
tower
get.
is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is
A
Shanks?
few items being delivered out as well. We'll be able to get away just in time.
Look at the
Dire
Corys.
structures are fortified.
The mass
Radiant's
invasion.
bottom tower has fallen.
Ace. Oh, side steps. 1, 2, 3. Soulbind's there, but it's just after the Wraith Fire Blast. They're still straight on top of Mac. The Inksmore stun on 2, make it 3 down. Tino's going to show up with Sam H. Chrono up and ready to rock here for Tino, but they're lacking the damage at the moment. They're just going to try and avoid the Faceless Void. He's still going to be able to drop the Chronosphere to deal with the first life of the Wraith King, but can you kill him a
Stuns
second
himself.
time? I don't think you can. Sanctity blink on, can't get the control on Tino, and Sam H. He'll end up falling, stunning himself, costing his life there.
Dire's top tower
Tino
is
back to
under
safety,
attack.
but we do see another decent fight for Lilgun. They're going to try and look to push that one fight into a now tier 2
Dire's
tower
top
objective.
is under attack.
I knew my faith would be rewarded.
I'm
Lilgun. They're clawing it back. I mean, they're going to take the first tier 2 tower. They've only lost one tier 1 tower on their side of the map. I'm kind of surprised by all that. You know, you can get all the kills in the world, but if you don't back that up with actually taking away the enemy's, you know, places to
Radiant's
farm,
bottom tower is under
protection,
attack.
doesn't really mean all that much. And, well, speaking of taking away things that are of high importance, they moved on into Roche.
Okay. Solar Crest picked up from Ace 12. And, well, now you're going to have an extra life, which is I mean, we were speaking about it in the draft, but that's the reason why Wraith King is so popular versus the Faceless Void, because you have the reincarnation. You trade ulti for ulti, and well, Wraith King doesn't care when he's able to come back up and ready to team fight. Sanctity is going to be the one to pick up the Aegis. Tino still coming over with Chrono on cooldown. He drops the Ice Blast before he dies, and now with the silence is there on top of the Faceless Void, he's got to be careful. That Ice Blast might take him out if they bring him low enough, and it does. But the Wraith King didn't have the reincarnation, he didn't even pick up the Aegis as well. So they'll chase down Hishki. It's going to be the Acorn shot to claim that kill. They're trying to chase down Marvel as well. He's lost all his mana, and he's about to lose all his health as well as a Mega. Even though they didn't have the Chronosphere, still recognizing that they're able to execute thoroughly in a team fight.
Yeah, just the impact of still quite long, the cooldown of that reincarnate, a full 2 minutes. Quite yet. The level 3 ultimate, down to 40 seconds. Sanctity, like, he just was never in a position that team fight to really make use of his items. It felt like for a long time he'd been playing with a Blink Dagger, a Magic Wand, and not even the completed power treads. He had his Courier sniped twice before his finished power treads came to him. That fight, he at least had the power treads and the Echo Saber. It was enough to take out the Faceless Void, but not much else.
Yeah, I think the Sharpshooter hit the Tiny as well, so he couldn't counter-initiate with his own Blink once they revealed around the pit. So it'd make it a bit awkward there for Sanctity's Tiny, but nonetheless, Radiant, they've got the Ages. There wasn't many big ultimates used because Chrono is still up here, but Lilgun looks like they don't care. They're going to look to smoke up and start to infiltrate the triangle.
You're going to find Shanks. The question is he going to be able to get away in time?
Oh, no.
They've got the dust.
Oh, you got to be careful here now. You're diving pretty deep. Can they get the burst now? Once again, Tino, Chrono on 2. They haven't dealt with the Mortimer Kisses just yet. Ancient Apparition's going to go bye-bye. And they get the break on the Timber as well. Sanctity counter initiation, but they burst through Timber without any reactive armor stacks. He can't tank up any of the damage. Void falling low. Do they have the right-click damage to go through Tino? They do. One more right-click for 1, 2, 3. But the reincarnation has already been forced out here from the Wraith King. So Sam H going to try and chase him down. But Blink on 4 from Mac. He gets back up with the higher gun. Blink's going to come back up in a couple seconds as well for the Wraith King. Can he get back to safety? Looks like he will be able to do so. Meanwhile, with that space, Hishki, with the help of Sanctity, finds the kill on CML. They haven't been able to get back to safety though, as Hishki's TP's cancelled. They're also going to be able to catch out Sanctity here. Might look to turn though with the Ice Blast, Aber, toss combination. It's not enough damage to get the kill on Mac, and in fact, it's going to cost him his life now, going for that greedy turnaround. So not done though, Hishki. Is he going to be able to get away this time with the Glimmer? He's not. Stuns on point. Great use of the detection. And it's a Mega that is still able to find a kill advantage here in another skirmish.
They are. They even lost the Aegis in that encounter as well, with Sanctity being left into the dire triangle. He ends up going down there. I mean, it's all well and good that you're able to take out the Faceless Void, but and he'd used his Chronosphere. He'd done the vast majority of his damage, and it feels like it's the Snapfire that's the one carrying him through a lot of these games. And now, same sort of thing with the Faceless Void, right? He's picked up a few of those items that are going to enable him to survive a little bit longer, halfway towards the next Aghanim Scepter as well. I mean, I guess you would... did you give it to the Hoodwink next? It's pretty good.
Who's coming over? Hoodwink? It is. Alright, we got Boomerang. So tell me about the Boomerang here, Danog. What does this big bad boy be able to provide the Hoodwink?
I think it's just more about being able to burst down this Timbersaw, right? Like, you've already got so many ways to break. Now you've also got the increased status resistance. You've got the increased spell damage that's going to be coming in. It's quite a crazy amount that they're going to have to be able to counter out this Timbersaw, who he's only got the hood, right? So it's not like he's got anything. Eventually he's going to get into this Lotus Orb. He's actually got it now. He's got his Courier ready for it. But no Yules just yet on Marvel. It's going to be, is he going to be able to get it off on time?
See if that can be the case here. I mean, it's going to be so...
Max deep? What the heck are you doing there?
I didn't even see him on the map with just the amount of heroes that Lilgun was surrounding him. She's saying that he also These chat lines, they're too good sometimes. You use them at the right timing, then you get full usage out of it. 1, 2, 3. They're really going to get full usage out of the
This way.
deep aggressive play from Mac. Oh, I say that. CML? Okay. At least they will get another kill. Instantly you see though what Omega want to do. Like top's going to get shoved in from Sam H. Mid is already over the halfway mark, so they're not really going to have to worry about that as a trigger point. But it will at least give some space for Lilgun to take the tier 1, maybe even tier 2 bot if they're wanting to.
I think they can. I mean, you're going up into a Chronosphere, but you've got all your key timings that you could possibly want. Even just the Hyperstone finished up. Not finishing the entire AC. It's just about doing that burst amount of damage. Wraith King's constantly carrying around the dust to combo together with his Blink Dagger. He realizes how, you know, even the defensive abilities that they've got on Omega, it's not going to be enough to take him, to take down a Wraith King. You know, double Glimmer Cape, Moonlight Shadow, it's not enough. Shanks is dead.
Poor old Shanks. I mean, Wraith King solo. Wow, nice blink.
Spidey senses.
That was very worried for a second with how split Lilgun were, and the fact that they didn't get punished.
They're rejoining as well. Vision right now is all dire. Be careful here. Tino could get a couple of heroes on the backline.
Starting with the kisses.
Miscommunication coming through.
I mean, it's still a Chrono 1-2. Getting rid of that Ancient Apparition is going to buy back instantly. So will the Alchemist as well. But now that it's a Chronosphere on cooldown, it's going to blink on top, straight on top of the backline, trying to deal with Sanctity. But Tino's going to be careful. The Ice Blast not going to find the connection. Just gets that Time Walk away. So buybacks forced out from both the Lilgun supports. Sam H buys back there from Omega 2.
Anyone's game at this point. A lot of big cooldowns used from both sides, to be honest. Important one though for the Radiant. You've still got that reincarnation available. Nearly level 20 as well on 1, 2, 3. That'll be huge. Just giving him that extra little bit of strength to be able to survive the initial burst.
Tino's gonna be careful. He's underneath the ward. 1, 2, 3. Can he chain lock him down? The silence is there now with the extra damage. They do so. Great use of their vision advantage down to the southern side, and they're going to look to punish for more. Marvel chain on forward. Doesn't have any extra control at the moment. Not built into that Your Scepter.
Keep going.
But 1, 2, 3. He's able to play super aggressive, especially with the help of Sanctity. Tries to go for another toss. In fact, it's just on Marvel. But still, they might at least get the kill on Sam H, who bought back previously. Is down for 95 seconds here, unable to rejoin them. So the 3 tower.
2, 3.
He's beat down. All right, they'll deal with the reincarnation. Shanks cookied in. He's like, hey, hang on, I don't really want to be here, Mac. He's even going to blink in forward as well. But look at just the constant stuns. Great use of the toss back into the Ice Blast. You're going to have to hope that Mac's got a buyback, because it's going to cost him his life here with how aggressive he's playing. But the name of the game is just space. Delay the push. Wait for the Faceless Void to come back up. And it looks like that's exactly what they've done. Void up in 10 seconds. Radiant, do they still want to stick around though? You got Reincarnation. 5-second cooldown. But the rest of the team are pretty weak.
Boomerang reflecting through.
Double boomerang.
That's what boomerangs do, right? They come back.
It's
He's
just
got the shard as well. Oh, that obnoxious little thing.
okay. Blink in.
Bash,
Tina,
bash.
back out.
I did
Do you want to stick around? 2, 3. Might get this reincarnation pop. That he will. Really wants his full set of barracks, but he's not going to get too greedy here. So Roshan will be up in 5 seconds, but Dire, they should be up soon enough to be able to mount a full defense and contest it if Radiant think about going back for it.
Arcane Rune now picked up by Sanctity. He is going to be dishing out a ton of damage in these team fights. It's going to be a lot harder to catch out the Faceless Void now that he's finished up that Ag Shard, that Ag Shard for himself, but the key timing is if they're able to pick him off a couple of times before he finishes up that BKB. Talk about shards. That's what Roche is going to have. They've spotted out that it's respawned now on Omega's side. I don't even know who I'd give it over to be honest. Mirana sucks, Hoodwink sucks, so I guess it's the Alchemist.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, the Berserk Potion is going to be pretty nice for Tino. The basic Dispel as well. I'm trying to see what that would really help with this game, though.
Violence, maybe? No, not even.
Dire are scanning.
Radiant still got this ward in the area. Tino, smoke pot, is actually going to time lock aggressively. At least you get the ice block. That's the main factor here of the Ancient Apparition. If they can bring him down as well with the chain lockdown, Tino's in trouble. He needs help and needs now, but he's not going to get it. Tino down 70 seconds, and they're going to push back the rest of Dire. 1, 2, 3. We'll catch out CML. He's going to try and play around with that headband. But 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's stalking his prey. Nowhere to run.
They know Roche is up.
And that is a kill right next to the pit. And in they will go. We were speaking about who might get the shard from Dire. But now we're going to get to see who Lilgun want to give it over to.
Much better across all heroes, to be honest. Hishki, he's already got one for himself, so it's not going to be him. Maybe they're a little bit worried about their sieging potential, so could opt to give the flamethrower over to the timber sword. They're just going to go... How far away was Mac there when he was using that? Hishki was kind of caught off guard a little bit with how...
Oh, they stopped the blink. Have they got a TP cancel? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. That is a lot of space. Okay, Roche really weak. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, hang on, Dar, they're up in 10 seconds. Can they get there?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No.
Roche is like 2 hits away.
Your shard has fallen.
Shard given to Torrity. Yep, permanent tree.
Trying to see. I guess you would only really think about the timber as the other one.
Yeah, he's alright. Helps to disrupt some... Do they even have blinks? No, they don't. So, except on the Snapfire, but very rare that Snapfire is going to be in range of an AA to pop down that Ice Vortex.
Now, I mean, we're taking a look at the net worth, and the Faceless Void, yes, is neck and neck with the Wraith King, but a lot of this is because of the Aghanims that he got given over to from Sam H. So it does really feel like right now Radiant, these extra lives that they have available for them is being the X factor against the team fight that Omega have. And as long as Ace gets the Ice Blast off, he's done his job. And they also see the Void. Actually, never mind. He's behind a tree. He's still going to blink in forward. Ace. Okay, that's Ice Blast down now for 40. They have to reset, and they're actually going to go back in. Tino, toss in. Mac, the great toss from Sanctity. What a pick off. No Mac for this team fight. That's a lot of your damage inside the Chronosphere. I'll charge it up. Tino, you see what he's able to do. Poke and prod. Sanctity's got the Aegis. Sam H going to move in forward. They're going to be able to deal with the first life of the reincarnation. He hasn't fallen just yet, but now with the Tino, Chrono finds two, both the supports once again. But now with the big Chronosphere on cooldown, Tino, does he have any more gas in the tank to be able to work for this later team fight here? He's straight on top of 1, 2, 3, but gets the BKB, the bastions are there. 1, 2, 3 is going to try and look to turn to actually reset this fight as they're disengaging. They've got absolutely nothing out of the Aegis. They just have to hope that Sanctities may be able to get the blink away, but can they chain lock him perfectly? They can. Sanctity, no hope for a blink, but still Marvel! The damage with all the pure, they're getting melted. 1, 2, 3 is going to be able to come back around as well. They'll lose Sam H, but still 1, 2, 3. Reincarnations is down for another 5 seconds here. Can they kite it? Armlet toggles is not enough. They'll lose the Wraith King, and Marvel's TP is going to get cancelled as well. Tino with that Aghanims. Coming in clutch there in this team fight, and Omega will withstand the higher ground push once again.
Yeah, and it's going to become only harder now with the BKB finished up on Tino. He was there for all of that, so rocketing up in the experience front up to level 23 now. So the increased amount for backtrack that's going to be able to come through, you would think, is what he's going to go for, considering the only time it felt like he's died is when he just gets burst 100-0.
And that was all without any buybacks from Dire. Like, no buybacks at all committed there for that high ground. And I am just absolutely loving this, the Aghanims from Tino. How he's using it with the supports. Like, to jump Ace, bring him from like from full to like half HP, and then dip out instantly. Like, it just, like, Ace's positioning through these past couple of fights is... It's been a bit rough. We did see him that one time still get the Ice Blast off, but I feel like he's just going to be a bit further on the back line.
He does, and it's kind of hard, right? Because you've got this Solar Crest, you need to be pumping it in onto your Wraith King that's sieging the high ground, but are they going to be able to catch Tino out here? He's actually going to go in onto
catching them out. He's still got the pass through with the Ice Spark, which is about to expire. The damage from Shanks with the Aghanims. It will rip apart the ancient apparition. They're gonna try and find Hishki as well. No, just outie.
No first hit bash this time.
Okay, well, they will get back to safety here, but then what a swing in the net worth. Look at the graph, that cliff. Oh, it's a hell of a drop down his top. Wraith King's just gonna lose his first life, and this is without any big ultimates committed, and Tino's still got the Chronosphere now. Will drop the big one straight on top of the Wraith King. He's gonna lose his second life, and he doesn't have a buyback. Now Mac's able to jump on forward as well. Sharpshooter already been used, so they can't get rid of the passive from Marvel. They're actually going to think about not going as aggressively up on the high ground. They're worried that potentially Wraith King can rejoin them.
Yeah, that buyback always a big threat, and even picking up the Minotaur Horn, having that second instance of BKB immunity. It's going to be extra nice for Tino here. Means he can play even more on the edge. Yeah, just taking out that Wraith King gives him a bit of time. We were talking before about how little of the map it felt like Omega had taken away from Lilgun. This time around, not the case. You know, his bottom tower's gone just because of the use of the little shredder with all that minus armor coming through from Mac. He's been moving around the map for the past, what it feels like 10 minutes or so, just constantly shoving in waves, making sure that, look, there is actually something else that Lilgun need to be worried about other than this Faceless Void. And, well, now the Void, we talked about his level 25, he's nearly there. He's getting a ton of great items coming through as well. Yeah, gear on the ground too.
It's like, which one do you want to hold here for Tino? He's got Penta, the ninja gear. I just saw another one that now I cannot remember because he got rid of it. The Minotaur Horn. Like, there are some great ones for Dire as well. You take a look at Radiant. Unfortunately, they haven't had the opportunity to get any across the map. So this could be a little bit of a power spike here that Omega have over Lilgun.
Can't even leave the base. Sanctity's up here next to the tier 2 tower. He might whack it a couple of times. Blink his way straight out, but he's going to walk on into Shanks.
He's going to have to BKB TP out, and they will not have a cancel.
No Void there, so no bashes.
Radiant. Smoked up. That stroke's going to more than likely reveal a potential maneuver, and yeah, you see they instantly try and connect with Sam H with their own smoke.
Have to be careful as well on Lilgun's side. They just used the BKB on Sanctity. Not sure if the rest of the team are aware of it. Looks like they are looking to retreat, play a little bit more defensively around their high ground, but there's this Deep Observer ward placed down by the Dire. Again, the value of information means that Tino can just walk in up here. Gonna try and catch someone out. It's Marvel.
Marvel?
Right on into them, actually.
It's like, I don't give a damn about you, Void. What do you think you're going to do to me? Absolutely nothing. He'll try now. But it's just, he's really just poking and prodding to see what the reactions come through. Maybe you can force something out early without having to commit too heavily.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All right, we've got the Ag Scepter as well up in the Mirana. Love to see it. Shanks, you've been, I don't want to say the MVP, but damn close to it for the majority of this game. Just dodging out a lot of these gank attempts. Ace. Okay.
Wait, so mid lane?
1250 damage plus the Ghost Scepter.
Oh, they bashed him up. He doesn't get the chain. Marvel is getting absolutely no assistance as well. The rest of the team just leave him to die.
Power of that Sacred Arrow, baby. Double Starstorm connecting in onto him.
Don't worry, Morgan.
And our Sanctity too. It's got blink, he's alright, but I mean, Dire, they might be thinking about walking up this high ground here. Tino, DD, time walk forward. They're just going to lose another support for nothing. And our Sanctity as well is going to have to pop a BKB. Yeah, you got buybacks, but
Radiant structures are fortified.
1, 2, 3. He's up on this top side. He's left his Illusionist cape up here. You've also got the double siege creeps, so this tower should push in. It's going to be a lot of attention that is going to need to be addressed by Omega. Let's see if they're going to look to go in aggressively.
Sam H, nice use in the middle horn. They also whiff on the Ice Blast, but Shanks did TP back to defend it. He's instantly going to try and run to the team fight in case it completely breaks out in full force here. CML, he'll TP. They're still hunting Sam H at the moment. They won't find that catch.
Big win for Omega, though. Able to rotate everyone back without losing anyone. Even with the two-man rotation coming through from the Mirana and the Snapfire. Snap, of course, having the Boots of Travel makes it a lot more worthwhile for him, and he's looking to transition to be a lot more of a right-clicking beast now. He's already got the Chrysalis available, building into the Daedalus, and just a sliver of experience away from picking up that level 25 that gives him the multi-shot.
Moonlight Shadow, Radiant. They're a bit split once again. 1, 2, 3 is going to blink straight on top of them. But it looks like Tino wants to deal with Ace. See the Ice Blast? It gets the pass through, but still not the at least initial connection. They bring down Ace, Radiant. They have the outpost control, so the buybacks are going to be so necessary for them to be able to take this team fight. Tino, BKB going to turn once again.
Straight away,
dead again. Chronos feet onto both the supports. He just pulled back on Ace, and he's going to end up falling just as fast as he rejoins the fight here. It's a triple for Tino. But now can the cause on Lilgun be able to turn this fight back into their favor? Well, I say that Marvel's brought down one less core for them to be able to utilize here. They don't have buybacks as well. Sanctity to BKB, TPL, it's going to get cancelled. Another incredible team fight from Omega. They are just executing so incredibly high in this late game.
They are, and even with that, the level 25 picked up by Mac, he's just got his Scatter Blast. Well, he's already got a Scatter Blast, but now he's Scatter Blasting with his little Shredder, it feels like, with that Daedalus, able to pop out so much damage. And yeah, I mean, you can have control over the outpost, but just telegraphing himself a little bit too much with all that vision that they had available on the Dire side. They're just going to walk it down mid, try and see if they're able to take away a little bit more away from them, but I mean,
top barracks are under attack.
this Boomerang coming in pretty handy for bursting down a lot of these, what would typically be hard to kill targets. Sam H, even nearly level 25. They actually stole away the Stormcrafter as well that time, Omega. I think they were trying to leave it for the Ancient Apparition just to give him an extra little way to potentially survive against the Faceless Void. If the time walked in onto him, you can zip yourself up into the air for a little bit of a reprieve, but well, not going to be the case. Now held over by Faceless Void, I think.
You see
a bit of extra damage.
1, 2, 3 is trying to get that level 25, but he's now actually going to be pretty careful because he might get caught outside the base here if Omega look to get top fast enough. He's okay. Okay, so 25 now for the Wraith King. He's got that Mortal Strike. Roche is up though. So 2 full sets of barracks, and now Omega can go back in and claim this third Roche of the game. That's going to be Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard.
I know the game's probably not going to go for too much longer, but Tino still has so much room to grow in terms of his items. Like, he's still got his magic wand held. He's going to pick up the Refresher Shard. Makes total sense. He's even just going to use this cheese.
Max got a rapier.
Yep.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He's got the Aegis. Why not?
Yeah. Void's even got Refresher Shard. We're going to see double
Chrono. Their own rapier on Lilgun. There it is.
Okay. All right.
Rapier v Rapier gaming. You'll love to see it. Could we see a smoke come out here before the connection comes through from Omega?
Oh, not
no,
again.
They're going to have to run away.
Ace. Jump down.
He's
1,
gone
2,
in.
3 is actually committing, but he's going to get stunned by the arrow. 1, 2, 3 already loses the reincarnation, and they might just drop the Chronosphere here. Silence is a little bit too late, and now with max potential with the little shredder, they just tear him apart. Rapier's down. They don't have buybacks on 3 of these heroes, and it's going to force Lilgun to call it quits.
Just dropping the celebratory Chronosphere there on Tino. Not needing it, he was trying to chase down the Hishki Grimstroke, but Omega Esports, what a roller coaster of a game. 45 minutes, and it felt like it could be anyone's. Just some great high ground defense coming from the team, allowing them to finally hit their key timings, particularly on the Void with that BKB. And yeah, it felt like it could have been anyone's.
Yeah, it really did it at one stage in that game. I mean, you take a look at the graph, like it got to a stage where Lilgun had like a 80% probability, you know, before that 40-minute mark. They won a couple of really solid fights, you know, took some barracks, but in the end, I wonder if it just feels like the experience coming through from Omega, like their target prioritization. They recognize the Ancient Apparition and Grimstroke. They have to be killed. They have to be killed at the start of the fight. It felt like Tino was always on point, at least finding both those supports in the Chronospheres, and they did not have any save mechanic to be able to kind of deal with that big ultimate. And, you know, it got to a stage where, yeah, we just saw Omega They got the items. They were able to execute once they had that numbers advantage, and they didn't look back. And now that is going to be a nice debut for them. They're going to be able to open up in their first series with a 2-0 victory. That's not going to be it for Omega, though. They're now going to have a second series today versus South Built Esports, who are yet to play.
Full Filipino affair. You love to see it, and I'm sure it'll be a pretty interesting matchup. I mean, that was all-out aggression, let's be honest, that game. What was it? 45-minute game with 99 kills? No, 89 kills. But I reckon these guys could top it in the next one. So I'm keen to see it. We'll have a short break, and we'll be right back with our final best of 2 of the day.
We're going the distance here. It's 11 right now. We're probably getting into the early mornings of around 1 a.m. But like you were saying, we get the full Filipino action. What better can we expect than 10 of these players running head-to-head at each other? It'll be a bit of a break. Our last series of the night coming up shortly.